I wish I could. I'm told I got to speak now because Dave Pope is deaf, according to his wife. I'll try my best, Dave. Charles Dickens, in his great novel, The Tale of Two Cities, starts with these words: "It was the best of times, and it was the worst of times." Certainly today, we share those sorts of feelings and mixed emotions as we share this, the last of the EWS Pensioners outing. It is truly an end of an era. And because this is the very last Pensioners outing, it may be for many, it may seem to be the worst of times. But when you look around you, and you see the folk next to you, and realise a lifetime of work experience alongside the guys and the ladies who are around you, you must realise also that today is the best of times, because we have shared a great life together, laughter, sadness, joys, sorrows, and even closures of plant. It is the best of time because we are sharing this event with people whom we have grown to respect. People who have stood by us in the workplace. For me, I know that I owe a lot to these crinkly old codgers around me, such as Jack Sant, Albert Kruger, who taught me how to do the washing on a Saturday morning and how to cook Polish sausage. The people who taught me that they taught me all I know, like Mike Hill and Bill Cullimore, and of course Harold Griffiths, who taught me how to drop bricks like no one else, and my great late friend Phil Marsh, who taught me how to sinter. We have memories of great people who are around us, and therefore today is truly the best of times. It reminds us all that we have shared in these times, and we shall continue to do so as we go beyond today into the future. Unfortunately, we won't be meeting in these surroundings again because of the demise and of the decline of the smelter. But we are not alone. Many of you know that in my working experience at the smelter, I travelled the world, either commissioning blast furnaces or helping other people. And it is more than a tale of two cities when we think about smelter closures. At the time when we mourn the loss of Avonmouth, we also realise that the furnace in France has also closed. Our sister company at one time in Copper Creek in Australia has closed. The Sardinian furnace has closed, and the German furnace is under threat. We live in a time when, unfortunately, there is a resigned inevitability about the closure of the Avonmouth smelter. It seems quite obvious that it would have to close at some time. However, all of us who are enjoying today also remember all those friends who we shared our time with at Avonmouth, who regrettably saw the closure of the company. And it was regrettable in the way that it came about, with a lot of people finding themselves without a pension that they had hoped and expected to receive. A concern which continues with many of us today who poured all we had into that company. So there is work still to be done to support in friendship those who have suffered most in the last year. We hope that the future of the others over the wall in chemicals will be rosier. and we hope that their future may be assured. So we wait with bated breath to see what happens to the chemical side, who were once part of that great company, National Smelting Company, which some of us joined many years ago. Charles Dickens goes on to say in The Tale of Two Cities, "It was a season of light, it was a season of darkness." Well, you can wallow in the darkness if you like, but I would prefer that we all stand in the light of all the experiences we have shared in the past, because we have shared some great experiences, and today, I hope, is a wonderful celebration and thanksgiving of all that we have shared in the past, and that today is, in a sense, a happy one, as well as being tinged with a great deal of sadness. It's sad that no longer will we have the annual battering of our years by anecdotes from Jack and others. It's sad that we will not be able to see our friends as often as we might have done in the past, and we will regret all the comradeship that will be still with us in thought, if not in body. It is a sad parting when we meet apart from our colleagues, but let us try to stand in the light and be resolved to put every effort we can into keeping a close circle of friends, or a wider circle of friends, by trying to meet each other as often as possible in places maybe that will be arranged in the future. But at least a responsibility for us all, I think, is continue all that we have shared in the past by sharing with as many smelter and chemical friends as we can in the future. Let's hope we can do that right up to the time when we proverbially pop our clocks. There are some of us who have a profound faith, and perhaps those of us with a profound faith, though we will part today, we might see somewhere in another place in the future. The smelter mob and the chemical mob started together as NSC. Let's try to resolve to finish as the NSC. No sad commiserations. Let's remember we are surrounded by great friends and colleagues, and may it ever continue, though this is the last pensioners outing.
End of the turns this afternoon, so good afternoon to one and all. I find it very strange that I should be sat here 40 years after I was transferred down to the Avonmouth Smelter, and I never thought for a minute I'd still be around you people in 2004. Particularly, I was transferred down to Avonmouth in 1964. They put me up in lodgings on Clifton Down, and I got kicked out of the lodgings in 3 weeks for making a rude comment about the size of the fried egg in the morning, because the landlady's budgie was squawking, and I was asked to leave. And at the end of the first month at Avonmouth, when I went to the personnel department for my appraisal, I asked if I could go back to Scotland, because I couldn't get on with you lot. I couldn't understand what you were talking about, and I did coin the phrase that you could be dead for 3 weeks in Bristol and nobody had known. But here we are. Funny old world. But as this is the last outing, it's not right simply to put the metaphorical proverbial cat out and turn the lights off and toss the keys back into the reception without saying a few words about the person who, frankly, without his efforts, we wouldn't be here. All right? Because believe me, without Norman, and the efforts that he's put in. During the last 26 years, I think, it's probably his 26th he's organised, it is a fact that there would not have been a pensioners outing, all right? So we have to acknowledge that. And in acknowledging that, I just make the other point that it's not just Norman. We should also remember that behind, or indeed alongside Norman, all these years has been Gwen. She's the one more often than not who answers the phone when I phone up Dicker Towers down Dursley Road in Shirehampton. And believe me, the organisation of these sorts of things, they don't just happen. There is a lot of effort involved behind the scenes. And as well as the outing, there's also, of course, the visiting, the hospital visitings, the contact with many people. I know, I shudder to think what Norman's phone bill's like. He phones me, he phones a lot of people about funerals. And, you know, frankly, he is Mr. EWS. Without him, none of this would have happened. So our grateful thanks go to them both. And first of all, I would like to ask my good lady, Pam, to present a bouquet of flowers to Gwen. Secondly, we have organised some farewell cards for Norman, together, as you know, with a collection. All right, we have raised a fair amount of money, and I'm tempted to say that with England playing tonight at 7:45, we've locked the doors, and until I can get another few £100, you are not going home. Right? And it don't bother me, the number of hours I've spent down a smelter, it don't bother me, and I don't like the football anyway. So for you, Norman, we have collected in excess of £500. The Dickers have a rather small house and rather a lot of things in it, so we have decided to do something different. And that is, and we are not doing it at this moment because we didn't know how much money we'd organise, but everything is in place that Norman and Gwen, we'll organise a holiday for them. Gwen, I think, was suggesting Baghdad for Norman for 14 days, but unfortunately they don't do the return flights. Right? So we are going to do something else, and that will take into account the wishes of Gwen and Norman. Okay? So, where are my cards? On behalf of everybody here today, Norman, and indeed other people who are not here today, if I could present you with these two cards, and I will see you afterwards about the holiday. Okay?
The cookies at real for 70-ish.
I find as you get older, actually, you do tend to forget things. So we've done the bouquet, we've done the card and the collection. I've just better phone a friend and ask him what the other one is. Hang on a minute. Just hang on. It's like Chris Tarrant. Hello?
Hello, Jack.
Oh, yeah. What's the other one, Dad?
Pardon?
What's the other one?
What's the other one? Probably a picture or something.
All right. Well, if you'd like to do that.
All right, okay.
Here.
We try to be as rude as possible, Norman. Not many people left the smelter without a Bev Harris cartoon. So I hope you enjoy it.
Lastly, however, and Bev referred to it in the few words that he made, a number of us feel it's very important that some of the work that's been going on over the years should continue. The visiting, the funeral attendance, etc. should still go on. This is part of what the Smelting Works has been all about over many years. So Bev and I, along with Norman and a few other people, will be getting something organised to ensure that that sort of thing continues. But we do need some help in that where I live up at Stinchcombe, they haven't heard of the Bristol Evening Post. And there aren't many pensioners that live in the area of the Gloucester Gazette. So we do need your help. But it is our intention that what has been going on over the years will continue. We will be attending funerals, we will be visiting hospitals. The vast majority of cases for the funerals will be to pay our respects for a small number of people, and you know who you are, all right, who have caused me grief over the last few years. I'll be attending the funerals just to make sure you don't change your mind, all right, and decide that you want to come back, all right. But the other thing that we've done, there is no further pensioners outings now as we've known it, but we will be organising a regular lunch date at the Plough at Pilning every couple of months. The first one, it will be the second Thursday in even months, if you old codgers can work that out. All right, that means August is the first one. Wednesday, the 11th of August. I think I'm right, aren't I, Pam? I will double check that. All right, it's the second Wednesday in the month. If you want to be at the Plough at Pilning, I'll be there. Bev will be there. 12 o'clock. Don't be late, because there's no signed cards or anything. You have to clock in yourselves, all right? And anybody, and I mean anybody, be they smelter or Rhodia people, are more than welcome to turn up. If somebody wants transport, I have organised with Wessex Trains. They run every fortnight in Pilning on a Thursday. But seriously, if anybody would like to come and they haven't got the transport, provided they don't live the other side of Plymouth. Alright? Hey, listen to Mr. Cutler. I don't mind picking them up. Okay? So, if anybody is interested in that sort of thing, come and see me or Bev afterwards. Bev and I will certainly be there the second Wednesday in August, 12 o'clock. Alright? And if you behave yourselves, I might even buy you a drink. Alright? Between you. Alright, I'll leave it behind the bar. I'll put it in a truck for you, Reg. Alright? Alright? I'll put the truck in the back of the car park. Alright? And there is just one last thing to do. There is another bouquet of flowers to make, and this is to somebody who has done so much for the EWS over the years, and so I would ask Pamela again to present a bouquet of flowers to whoever's gone shopping. Jenny, where's Jenny? the M&S shareholder who's now made a lot of money this last week.
Digital camera.
Yeah. You got both actually.
Well, I'm just told that the coaches will be ready at 7:30, so enjoy your time.
This way. The ball in Tino. Can't really see it on the board. Arsenal take the next one.